Next, we're going to talk about the 10 different types of homeschooling. Number 1, traditional homeschooling, or also known as school at home. So traditional homeschooling is literally what it sounds like. This would be a good transition for someone who maybe has a child that has been going to public school their whole lives, and now they're trying to transition them to homeschool. Then they basically are kind of doing their exact same schoolwork, but at home on a computer, sometimes even with the teacher on the other side. So that's traditional homeschooling. If even without a teacher, they're still kind of covering the same exact coursework, doing the same similar hours, etc. So when you think about regular public school, it's kind of the exact same thing, just at home. That is traditional homeschooling. Next, we have classical homeschooling. Classical homeschooling is one of the older forms of homeschooling that's been around for years. And, it comes from, I believe, its Latin background. They focus on grammar, logic, and biblical education. So if you are not religious, then this would not be a homeschooling option for you or your children. They also encourage debate and opinions on different topics. So like I said, this is one of the older ones, and so if you are a Christian, this might be a good option for you, but if you are not, then I would suggest maybe doing another one. Next, we have Charlotte Mason. Charlotte Mason focuses on elementary age student. So with the Charlotte Mason method, homeschool is usually broken up into 15 to 20 minutes study period at a time. So there's shorter gaps of studying, and then they do a few of those throughout the day. Another thing that's encouraged is daily journals. And so when the children are doing their nature walk, they kind of keep track of what they see outside, and they try to write something different in their journal about their surroundings every day. Next one is Montessori homeschooling. So Montessori homeschooling is child-led also. They kind of set them up where they have different sections, and the children can kind of pick what they want to do. They also have the older and younger children working together. And this study was done with special needs children, and they said that it had great results. So if you have a special needs child, this might be a great option for you. Next, we have the Waldorf homeschooling. Waldorf homeschooling is created to make well-rounded children with the emphasis in using art, music, physical education, emotional studies, and academics. So if this sounds good to you, this is for you. Next, we have unit studies. So with unit studies, it's similar to the name. You study by unit. For example, if a child is learning about China, well, they would do some history about maybe the Great Wall of China. And then maybe for home economics, they will be cooking Chinese cuisine. And then maybe they'll be learning some math, numbers in Chinese. So they just kind of have one topic, and then they'll do different studies, different subjects on the matter, like math, English, history, etc. So if you're the kind of parent who likes to overlap learning with activities, then unit studies will be a great option for you. Now we're going to talk about road schooling. So road schooling, I wish my husband would let me road school. So road schooling is when you pack up your whole family, you guys are in the RV, you hit the road, and your children learn as you go. They're learning at different landmarks, what different things that they see. They get to experience everything firsthand, hands-on. And I feel like this is an amazing option if you can do road schooling. One thing to keep in mind about road schooling is it does look a little bit different depending on the family. So there's some families that road school and their children also do some work online, or their children also do some learning apps, or they also have some actual book work that they do. So for every family, it's a little bit different, but like I keep saying, do whatever works best for you and your child. Next, we have world schooling. So world schooling, once again, it's kind of like what it sounds. This is for families that travel the world, and they really get to see things firsthand. They get to learn about different cultures, backgrounds, languages, landmarks, foods, just different places. So when you're talking about a wealth of knowledge, That's what I feel like world schoolers are getting, to really be able to be everywhere and learn. It's an amazing opportunity. A lot of people, like, they'll travel to just one country in college to learn somewhere for like 6 months or whatever. But to do that from a young age all the way throughout, just imagine the wealth of information they'll have by the time they graduate school. So I think world schooling is a fantastic option for those who can't afford it. So electric homeschooling is also child-led. And so basically how it works is, say your child is interested in something like, rain and how that works. Well, their mother might turn on the TV and put on a science show to explain everything about rain. So it really just kind of goes hand in hand with what they're curious with. That's kind of how they learn. Lastly, we have unschooling. So unschooling was actually created by a public school teacher who had the belief that children stopped learning because they were in the school setting. And so unschooling was created. So with unschooling, children, once again, this is child-led. And so children kind of just go off on their own, say in nature, and they kind of see what they're interested in. And then whatever they're interested in, their parents will put more learning material about that subject around so that they can learn further. And so they just kind of unschool themselves, and that with the help of their parents. It does not mean that they are not learning, because they are learning. And just so you know, unschooling does fall under the same umbrella of homeschooling. It is definitely legal in all 50 states of the United States of America. Okay, I just wanted to clarify that, because I know a lot of people believe that unschooling is not homeschooling, when in fact it actually is. Now, as far as for me and my children, I would say that we never pick just one. We're kind of all over, and I pick different things from different methods because I feel like some of everything can be beneficial. We do book work, we do study the Bible, we do travel. We do home economics, where we're incorporating different foods and stuff from different cultures that we're learning about and things like that. So we're kind of all over, and I love it because I feel like when you just stick to one thing, you almost kind of limit yourself. And I didn't want to be put in a box of any particular thing. And that's why I enjoy not having one particular curriculum, and I like pulling from different places because we enjoy different things from different places. So I hope this helps you to kind of decide what you want to do next and which homeschooling method you are going to choose for your family.